be so cold.
To another episode of Roses Are Red podcast with your host, Mrs. Red Rose, her co-host, Sam I Am from the Married Couple Podcast, and AC from Midnight Media.
Love it.
Which, honestly, I think we have a new person, Sam. I don't know.
I know. Who is it?
Who's this handsome man over here?
No.
I wasn't handsome before?
Oh, you've always been handsome, but
now it's like a whole new person.
Now you get to see me.
Sometimes when people, get rid of the bulky beard, you're like, you should have kept that.
Yeah.
Nope,
You have no
I don't
skin,
believe.
right?
I don't. You have
You
one.
have
You do have a dimple.
You do, right?
Yes.
But all this, as
It's a
you've
classic,
seen for many episodes and for the years that you've known me, I just have like a half two-tone beard.
Yeah,
And
looks good.
it's cool at times, but I don't know. It's also hot as fuck right now.
Yeah, I feel you.
like taking everything off. Mhm.
Yeah, I say this all the time and people get mad at me, but at least you don't have the humidity.
It's a dry heat.
No, I walked out of my house to let the dogs out. I just stuck my head out and
Who?
me.
Who let the dogs out? You did?
But my glasses fog up immediately. That does not happen in Vegas.
Miami.
Yes, you understand though.
No
I mean,
life.
it's like you feel the air as you walk through it, and it's not fun. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good feeling. You can't really get dressed in Miami. Houston too. Like Houston's another like really humidity-ridden city, and it's just you can't wear like certain linen and things like that. You just can't. It'll stick to your body. You look like a weirdo.
It's gross. Yeah, it is not fun. No,
Anywho, you know what else is not fun? Crime.
Yeah,
True
crime's not fun.
Not fun.
Well, talking about it is, but being on the
not experiencing it.
yes.
So let's get into it. Got a couple. I got an update on Gypsy Rose, which is going to be interesting. So I want to say it was Friday or Saturday. Pictures were leaked from the actual crime scene of Gypsy Rose, of the actual. You
mean Dee, the mom?
The mom, Dee, of actually her pictures of how she was killed. How
The murder scene. You say it.
The murder scene. Yeah, the murder scene of the words weren't coming out.
Words are hard.
Right.
I thought you were being YouTube conscious.
And
The no scene.
So, yes, unfortunately, I cannot show you these pictures, but if you look deep enough, hard enough, you will find them. I did post some of them on our chat that we have for you guys to look at, and I'd like to get your expressions. So if you guys could take a look over there,
okay,
please check them out. And
But we're certainly not condoning for you going to watch. And please be of age and all that kind of stuff. Like use your discernment if you want to do that. It's not
right. It's all up to you on what triggers you or what doesn't. But if this is something that you find that will form your opinion better, then
let's see. So we're going to look at it in real time now because we haven't seen them. So it's on our chat and there's pictures of the. Oh my God! Wow. Okay.
For me,
Lord have mercy.
I was like, wow. So Gypsy Rose now has lost a lot of followers because now they're saying that
she didn't do
this was more of an intentional. This is more of hate. Some people are saying that this is how could you possibly not know that this was going on?
You didn't kill her softly enough?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So as I look at them and
I've also seen a lot of murder scenes.
I don't know. I mean, I have on TV, I guess, but I guess as I look at them, it doesn't seem to be somebody pulling off a hit in a way, which is what she had coerced her boyfriend to do. It looks more of an angry kill, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, bloodlust.
So I can see, so I could see how folks would go, maybe it was her rather than the boyfriend. Maybe he just took the blame and she probably promised him the world. They were going to be together forever,
Of course.
Who knows? He could have just said, yep, it was me.
Wow.
To me, again, as you see those, AC,
I'm looking at the back of her neck right now. Like
that's what I'm saying. That is all the way.
That's
almost.
a rip. It's a rip. It's like a kind of like I decapitate you almost. If I was stronger.
Well, yeah, it's very much that. And You know, the puncture wounds, I would say I describe them as. I mean, it was done with a knife. It's
a knife
disturbing.
killing is always bad, right? So
Well,
off the
they're
bat,
more personal, for Pete's sakes. It's not like you can pull a trigger and kind of turn away. You know, you were actually physically
in their guts.
inflicting.
Yeah, you have it in their guts. Yeah, it's very
You have to feel it.
primeval, right?
Yeah.
Medieval.
Very medieval.
And very
It's
personal,
really
right?
bad.
It's intimate. But however, I will, as I always do, I will tell you that as bad as you think it is, I mean, I've seen a lot,
There's
and
been worse.
you've seen them in the movies. I've seen them just like this, leaked on Telegram. I mean, I see people being beheaded on Telegram. I see people having like, I belong to some gory chats that are Russian, just to see what the fuck is going on in the world. And I don't sit there and like watch the doom. It's it's porn. It's gore porn. I don't sit there and watch it, but like I barely look through it through my fingers, just like to see what the fuck. But I've seen people, the cartel behead people. Like this is nothing. I'm super desensitized. Super desensitized. Like, well, so I'm not saying this is good or anything, but it's
and these are just the somewhat. I didn't post all of them. These are just some of the more because
spicy
I was like
telling,
more telling, but there's worse ones, and these are just some.
Sure. The one that she's laying down like this is like, you can see where she was trying to protect her face and shit, and she was getting stabbed here.
Right. Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, do I think that the boyfriend acted alone? No. I mean, I believe that Gypsy was in the bathroom the whole time.
But
no.
Could he have done it alone?
Could he have? Maybe. Sure. He could have. I mean, that's where reasonable doubt comes in, right? However, looking at it, I don't think the boyfriend would have had that much ire against the mom. You know what I mean?
Do you think
what if he talked him
other
up?
personality? Because remember, he had split personalities, right? Remember, he
allegedly.
So I'm wondering, allegedly had.
I do too. Sometimes the guy who speeds on the highway is a different guy than me.
But you know what I mean? I even with a personality disorder, I still believe. I don't know.
When I'm not with
hard.
you, I lose my mind.
I don't know.
I think
it's hard.
I think she could have been capable of it.
Now, here's the thing: what she did.
I guess that's what
true. But but before you move on, it's the second point of that is would it be feasible for her to talk him up so much that he becomes bloodlusted to kill the mom?
No. Yes, absolutely. I believe that too. I just looking at it. Is it plausible that she had a hand in it? Yes.
Yeah, there's two things. Yeah, there's two things.
Is it plausible?
Either she
both
did it.
Things are plausible. You know what I mean? Shit. I didn't mean to make balloons.
But is it consistent that? So I mean, she would. How do I put this? She would not be. She would either she's a part of it or she's not, right? And either she was in it. There's two scenarios. She did it alone, or she did it with Nick, because it's not consistent with two knives at the same time.
No. Well,
so you know what I mean? As far as I've read, I don't think two knives at the same time is a possibility.
I don't think so, but it could have been one wound and then he hands her the knife.
Yeah, 1-on-1.
And then I mean, it could be that. He might have. She could have. She could have done the first or final blow, depending on.
Super stupid on her part to even recruit anybody. At that point, you're also participating in it. You're gonna get the same amount of time. You might as well just fucking do it yourself.
Well, I mean, now it would be double jeopardy. So
right, you can't do it again. Right,
it's coming out now. I mean, but her claim was that she hid in the bathroom the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So did she hype him up enough to be that hateful? Maybe.
Or did
could she have done it alone? Maybe.
Could she have held him down he held her down while she did it?
Right. Could have happened. Right. We don't know. But I mean, looking at what I see in those pictures, it just doesn't seem to me, if I had never met the woman or barely met the woman, that I would have that much rage. It doesn't look like, to me, like it was, I just don't know what I'm doing.
I beg to differ because look, Rose didn't know that guy who left the kid in the car last week. Remember?
Yeah.
In Tucson? she was ready to chop him up with a knife. Like, and she hadn't even met the guy, and she hated him so much. So never underestimate the power of hate.
I'm still there with that.
I'm telling you, she didn't even want to be married no more. She was like, we were watching the show last night. Like, damn, she doesn't even want him to be married no more. Like, automatic, fuck out of my house.
Fuck that. Get out of my house.
That would have been.
Your dad's dead.
Go.
Your dad's dead. Like your sister. God damn.
You know what? God, it's because
don't get me started.
I know. Don't get me started. Last night I was like, yeah. Don't get me started.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, this one.
So does anybody have a story that they want to lead off with here, other than are we done talking? Are we done talking about that?
Well, before we go on to that, Gypsy Rose decided to once again go on to her Instagram, delete everything that she had going on. She's deleted pictures. She deleted one where she had all her medical records around her sitting in a circle. She deleted that. So she went on, her little thing. I'm going to start deleting everything. So she did. And
those are her lawyers, by the way, not her.
Yeah, and so her PR is also working on to anybody that says anything.
Like, if you have anything that like incriminates you, like dates and names and things in pictures, evidence. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
get it the fuck out.
So, there's that. That's what's going on with them there. There's also another woman that is a blogger. Her name, this blogger is being sued by Gypsy Rose, and she exposes a lot of things. And she was on the show, I believe it's called Unwind with Tisha, AK Gypsy Rose, and she starts saying a lot of things on her podcast that start to make sense. But she's, like I said, this blogger is being sued on this. So
okay, so you're saying a blogger, it's like Gypsy Rose's blog. Damn, that's the best picture. That should be her profile picture at every.
It's called
the Ugliest Beauty Queen.
Yeah,
it's called Unwind with Tisha, AK Gypsy Rose. I want to look that up real quick. And so she sits there and she starts talking about the medical records, things that happened in prison, things that are, and she says a lot of things that are very questionable. So I'm curious, because she says that she wasn't she was when her mom was killed. She was actually in her like 19 or 20. So it's kind of, I'm curious to see where this is going to outcome. I haven't seen any updates.
What's the difference there? If she was 19 or 20.
Well, I mean, her mom did lie about her age the whole time. Yeah. So, I mean,
I thought that was known already. Was she even older now than initially?
Yeah, now that
they're
older.
claiming that she's older.
Okay.
Older, a lot older. But those are my updates that I had on Gypsy Rose.
So I'm trying to find Gypsy Rose talking to the camera.
I got it here. If you
Tasha, I mean, I have her social media, but I don't know if
you want me to share the screen here, and I can share it with you.
Sure. I have her Tasha, aka. I mean, she covers a lot of different things.
This is her right here, and I can play a little clip here of it.
She's not white, no way.
Here we go. No, this is the lady that
right.
That she interviewed.
Got you.
Let me play a little clip of it.
No murderer has ever come out and been like, "Yup, it, and they were awful and I hated them and that's why I did it."
You are going to be the first on record to state that this whole thing that we've ever known about Gypsy Rose was a scam.
The only person who should be in trouble for leaking her medical information should be her stepmother. Want it out? Yes. If they didn't want it out there, then they shouldn't have given it to everybody like it was fucking candy.
Oh.
You gave it to HBO. You gave it to A&E. You gave it to bloggers. You gave it to podcasters. You gave it to the stalker lady on the street. You gave them to everyone. You can no longer claim that they're private when you gave them to anyone and everyone that spoke to you.
And then they tried to turn around and
sue me. And sue me because I have them.
This is why the government don't like white women, because y'all be finding out.
I'm sorry, that was fucking hilarious.
That's a lot of going on right while y'all be
your
fighting.
Your parents are cousins, or they're somewhere around there, like in West Virginia, babe.
You don't know this yet, Tasha. Christy admitted on national television that she's the one who split up Ryan and Gypsy, and was talking to Ken the whole time, trying to get Ken back together with Gypsy, and she's proud of it. She's proud of it that she broke up a freaking marriage that her daughter had. A man who really cared about her
and introduced her to the new
to the old fiance. Got the old fiance
so
back in her life.
Whose baby is it that Gypsy's carrying?
Oh, sorry.
Stop it right there. Perfect.
No, I don't even know
timing.
she's carrying one at this point.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, wait till you hear this. If you don't know this yet.
Watch this full program and other exclusive content on www.
Oh my God. Don't leave us like that, Tasha K.
Oh my gosh. That was some hot tea, man.
Hot ass tea, bro. That shit was
Yes.
So, yo, she ended it with like, we don't even know if that bitch pregnant.
And then she was about to spill that fucking tea.
So look up Tasha, Tasha K, and you will find it. And let me tell you, it is. I mean, they talk about a lot of things, and it was great. And I sat there, I watched it, and I was like, holy fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But it's so much to uncover.
It's a tea channel.
Yeah. So you know, she's being sued because of the stuff that's being out there. So I just want to let you guys know. Those are my 2 updates that I have. Her PR is working really hard. I guess harder than ever now. To kind of keep
her
things
lawyers
down low. And her lawyers.
Absolutely.
Oh, her lawyers number one. They're like, take away everything that's unnecessary. Like you can like control. Take that away, because you know there are things we can't control. But that's the number one in lawyer talk, man. They're just like, fucking get rid of all that shit. Anything they can use against you. But
you gotta go radio silent on that.
She's got money, and she's got money to pay for good ass lawyers.
Oh yeah. So that was the update I have, and I will report more as soon as I find out more what's going on. I will let you guys know as it's unwinding and unfolding. This was a big thing from this weekend that came out. Nobody knows where these pictures came from. Nobody knows how they got leaked.
But wait, the cops have them, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The cops have their own.
Yeah, they have that. Well, but how they got leaked, no one knows.
Okay, so we know where they came from.
I mean, somebody knows. I'm pretty sure.
Well, we can deduce
it. Could either be a hack or somebody actually leaked them from.
Yeah, from the inside. Somebody from the inside wanted to like do that, or they paid somebody. Somebody got paid a bunch of money to just leak it.
Could be.
Yeah.
So
that's about it. That's about it. There's not much else.
And from that note, to start our next part of our show is let's take a quick shot and there we go, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'll be back when Daddy's gonna get the shake soon from not drinking. So
you're good.
You're gonna see me like this one day and be like, I need a fucking shot. But I was getting lit on the show for a minute. Like glass were glassy at the end, like true crime, you know. Do you want to go for on yours there, Sam?
I feel like I go first every time.
You know what?
Well, because I'm chivalrous.
You are
I
chivalrous.
I can start on the next story if you guys want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
God.
Keep going, Rose.
I'm gonna keep going. That's it. Okay, so this is an interesting show. This is not an interesting show. An interesting story. This is about a man that he is a chemical. He works in chemistry. Okay, so
Chem is try.
Chemist.
My old chemistry teacher used to say, "Chem is try."
Chemist try. He was upset that his neighbors upstairs, they just had a baby. He was upset about the noise, kept complaining. So what he did is came up with some type of concoction, and he was actually putting it underneath their door, and basically, I would say, killing them softly. And they would have a
Great
smell.
song.
Right. And it was slowly that they were smelling these things, right? So then, they went to the apartment complex. They said, hey, we're getting like a weird smell. They did all these things to the apartment, cleaned out the vents, changed everything, and then he decided to put a hidden camera. So here comes the chemist. If you see here, the guy, and he's a young guy too. He must be like maybe in his early 30s, young guy. Here he comes up the stairs and he actually starts injecting like the stuff in there. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and play this for you guys so you guys can listen.
Cameras keep them honest. And when a family suspected a disgruntled neighbor might be behind noxious fumes they kept smelling, they set up a camera. And Stephen Fabian says they were stunned by what they saw.
You were watching what cops say is a terrible crime committed by a brilliant chemist. First, he's seen filling a syringe with some sort of substance. Then he places the syringe under an apartment door. What was your reaction when you saw your neighbor injecting this substance into your home? Umar Abdullah and his wife had just had a baby. Almost immediately, they say, their downstairs neighbor, then a PhD student in chemistry, began complaining about noise. That's him skulking outside the apartment in Tampa.
After my daughter was born, right after we came back from hospital, he started complaining.
Then the family began smelling chemicals pervading the apartment. Everyone, including the baby, started getting sick.
She used to cough. And subsequently, she used to vomit.
Air conditioning ducts were cleaned. Plumbers checked all the pipes leading to the apartment, and the landlord even replaced the water heater. But the noxious fumes became overwhelming. And that's when the new dad decided to install a hidden camera. At first, the surveillance video caught just a glimpse of the suspect. The next day, when the camera was repositioned, this happened, and the terrifying truth came out. Initial toxicology reports from police say the substance being pumped into their apartment consists of 2 strong opioids, methadone and hydrocodone.
Isn't that crazy?
The suspect is identified
People
as
pay good money for that.
who got his PhD in chemistry at the University of South
made it.
Florida. A promising future ahead of him, now in
University of South
jeopardy
Florida.
for one
Wow,
incredibly
dude.
foolish act.
Wow, that's insane. Wow, that's like evil. Like I live in a
Like
cliff and pet a cat. You know,
Yeah,
like
like an evil genius type of a thing.
I'll
Yes.
get you, Inspector Gadget.
Yes.
Isn't that just freaking nuts?
Holy buckets. Why? I mean,
wow, that's so fucked up.
Just because you hate your neighbor.
Can I go next?
Yes.
it's
Kidding.
like he was so smart, but had it, you know what I mean? Like
It was-
there's a baby crying, so let me poison them and almost kill them. You know what I mean?
Does he rent? Does he own the place?
No, it's apartments.
Yeah, you can own an apartment.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, no, because that would be considered condos. If you own it, then it'd be considered condos or townhomes. But this is an apartment.
it can also be
And-
sublet. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
it-
let's assume it's rented.
regardless.
Let's assume it's rented. That's even stupider. 'Cause
Right.
You can. I mean, if you're not. It's not your forever home. You don't own it. You just get
And
a
this was
bill.
in 2023. So this was a year ago. So can you imagine? We already had the Ring cameras. We already had,
Yeah.
like
He thought he was too smart to get caught. Let's be real. They'll never know I'm putting something under their door.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll
you just
never
went to
know.
school. You just
that's
went to
like-
school, became a like you know what I
Diabolical.
mean? Like
A PhD student. He's
Yeah.
about to be a doctor in chemistry, which is like unfathomable.
Yes.
yeah. So
I can't even-
I figured I'd share this
This
story
dude's
with
like
you guys.
Genius. You know what I
Thank you.
mean?
Yeah, it's evil genius shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll get you and your dog too. It's like very like, god damn, so
I
wicked,
mean-
diabolical shit. Sam,
Sure. Let me figure out where it is. No, it is pretty diabolical. How?
you want me to go?
No, I can do it. I got it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read most of this, which might be painful. But I read it right before we went on, so I don't have it quite memorized. So my headline is: a woman who took an abortion pill was charged with murder. She's now suing prosecutors.
No.
So this happened in Texas. A Texas woman who self-managed her abortion is suing prosecutors and a local sheriff after she was held in jail for 2 nights on a murder charge that was ultimately dismissed.
This is the morning after pill, right? I'm sorry to interject. This is the morning
Yes.
after pill.
I don't think it's the morning after pill. No. This is the actual, if you miscarry and it
Oh, and
hasn't,
they give you to flush it out,
Yeah,
Reese's
like-
Pizza.
Right. So it is the pill that acts like a DNC. Yes.
Gotcha.
So it is an abortion
pill. It is
pill.
viable. It is. It's a viable baby until. Yeah, gotcha.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Lizelle Gonzalez, a Starr County, Texas resident, filed civil charges. A civil rights complaint. Words are hard, folks. Alleging that hospital staff provided her private information to prosecutors and the county sheriff, who later charged her with murder, according to court documents. Under state Texas multiple abortion bans, it is not a crime for a woman to obtain or seek abortion care for herself. The abortion bans target physicians and anyone who aids a woman in obtaining or seeking an abortion. Gonzalez is alleging that prosecutors and sheriffs violated her 4th and 14th Amendment rights.
Illegal search and seizure.
Yes. And is seeking over $1 million in damages. Two prosecutors, District Attorney Gocha Allen Ramirez and District Attorney Alexandria Lynn Barrera, as well as Starr County Sheriff Renee Fuentes and Starr County, are all named in this lawsuit. State law prohibits physicians from. Sorry, I can't read.
Yeah, you can.
State law prohibits physicians from providing abortion care and places civil and criminal penalties on anyone who aids a woman in obtaining abortion care unless the mother's life is at risk.
May I also interject that it's also illegal for them to aid them to go to another state to do it.
It is.
So if an adjacent state does have,
they can't say, I'm going to refer you to this doctor.
That's right. Or aid them in any way, because there's some of I think Texas and Oklahoma had a bounty. Like if you know that she's pregnant, your neighbor's pregnant, tell on them.
Yeah, they do. Them. Yes.
And there's bounties. That's insane. Yeah. That's Gestapo shit. That's like shit from it's like Nazi shit. Like SS, like Cuba, like, hey, he's not communist, and they go get him, take him away.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
What? It's insane.
Right. So what had happened is Gonzalez says she went to an emergency room in January of 2022 after taking Cytotec estrogen, which is 400 micrograms, otherwise known as misoprostol. One of those words aren't as hard.
Misoprostol? You called it?
Misoprostol. Yes. One of the two medications is used in the abortion pill regimen to cause an abortion when she was 19 weeks pregnant, according to her complaint. An exam found no contractions and found a fetal heart rate, so she was discharged from the hospital and told to follow up days later, according to her lawsuit. Less than an hour after she was discharged, she was taken back to the hospital with complaints of abdominal pain and vaginal bleeding. No fetal cardiac activity was detected upon examination, and a cesarean section was performed. She delivered a stillborn child, according to the court documents. Gonzalez alleged her private medical information was given to the state prosecutors and the sheriff, ultimately leading to her arrest, which she says violated federal privacy laws. Gonzalez alleged in court documents that the district attorney's office and the Starr County Sheriff's Office had agreements with the local hospital to report these types of cases. Gonzalez also alleges that there are other women whose health information was shared for the purpose of investigating and investigation and potential indictments. She alleged that the two district attorneys and Starr County Sheriff presented false and misleading information to a grand jury to secure an indictment against her, according to court documents. She was arrested in April of 2022 and held in jail for 2 nights before a $500,000 bond was posted and she was released. The charges against her were dismissed 2 days after the release. Due to her indictment and arrest, Gonzalez suffered humiliation, which has permanently affected her standing in the community, she alleges. Earlier this year, Ramirez, one of the district attorneys, agreed to pay $1,250 fine under a settlement reached by the state bar of Texas and have his license held in probate suspension for 12 months for his prosecution of acts clearly not criminal under state law. He remains the Starr County's district attorney. Which is unfathomable.
Not make this shit up, bro.
I know. Ramirez and Barrera, the two district attorneys, have sought to have the suit dismissed and have argued in court that documents that they have absolute immunity. They have absolute immunity for individual claims against them because the pleaded facts show nothing other than actions taken as a part of a judicial phase of criminal proceedings.
Wow.
I brought up something for you to supplement your.
Okay.
Wow.
I have like two more things and then we can talk about that because Fuentes, who is the sheriff, also sought to get the case torn out. Thrown out. Jesus.
Bad choice of words. Okay.
Yeah. Thrown out and argued that he has qualified immunity and argued that she did not specify claims against him specifically, but rather against his office. The attorneys representing Ramirez Barrera and Fuentes, I cannot talk, and Starr County declined to comment on this lawsuit as this story broke. She should sue.
Those are the state laws, though. I understand the state laws are broken, but it was the same thing with Treviso, right? Like,
the hospital went to the police and said she took these pills.
Right. Yeah,
and it's legal to take the pills because it's self-administering.
Right. You're not like
there was no crime.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, to people who are very religious, you killed a whole person.
I mean, you did in that respect, but but a guy from last week who left his kid in the car got, whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Life is for sure. We just comment on it.
The way we go about these things is pretty crazy. I don't think it's fair that the hospital and the police have a system that when people come in and have complications due to whatever, that they call them and go, hey, I'm going to tell. I think that's bullshit. And honestly, women aren't getting enough quality care because of this. It's not just about abortion. It's about a lot of things. And I could preach for a long time.
You could fill a book.
It's sad where we are with this. It is. Yep. I mean, personally, what I have two babies. I got pregnant twice. I had them. My first daughter, I was not expecting her. I decided to have her, but I am not one to sell somebody they can't, or they shouldn't say, no, I'm not ready yet. You know what I mean? I'm not one to tell that. And I'm also not, it really does affect women's health and it's bullshit.
Yeah. This was in Texas, right?
Yeah. I mean,
this was
in a murder case? Are you fucking kidding me?
When Roe versus Wade went down, you knew
I cried.
Like the ultimate thing was, and then not to get too deep into it, just to explain a little bit, the ultimate thing was to get it out of the federal hands, so to make it like, federally codified, where it's a federal law, and bring it down to the states, right? And but we all knew half of the states were going to immediately, like their end game is a total ban, right? Like a national ban. It just is. It's fun. They're fundamentally believers in that way, and they have to do it, right? So good for them, whatever. But like we knew that like half of those states were just gonna like shut down completely, and then I didn't prognosticate was like the tattletaling of like don't even leave the state,
right.
and then a bounty on your head. Like what are you like?
I'm going to get help because I'm in pain or I'm having complications, and now you're going to tell me and I get a murder charge?
Right?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have pregnancy difficulties where it's either you have to choose you or the baby. Like there's, you know what I mean? That also happens too.
Thin line, and a lot of these people don't want to like even if you're graped, and you have a whole bunch of grapes come out of you, like you know what I mean? Like they
say no.
They want you to have it. Yeah, they want you to have the grapes.
This is a law for. Never mind.
I'm right there, Sam.
There is a lawmaker that did one of those shadow, not it's not a shadow law, but one of those laws that they didn't ever think was going to come to fruition, and they signed it for abortion, and it was a ban of abortion at I believe 6 weeks, which honestly
that's ridiculous. People don't even know they're pregnant until 8.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's asinine. And
even Trump's for 15. Trump is like 15 is good.
Yeah, he needs.
Well, I mean, look at Alexis Teresa. She went through
He's
a
a
whole 9
super
months.
moderate.
She didn't know she was pregnant.
Well, she didn't abort that baby.
she knew. She just like broke her mind. Right.
She late term.
Yeah, the
aborted.
latest term, like the last day, like she crammed for that test.
But there is cases though. There is cases that there's some women that don't know that they're pregnant until when they have like a stomach. There's a lot of cases like that where some women.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're having
nothing.
It. Cool.
Well, if it's too far, that makes sense. However, there was a lawmaker.
But if you're in Texas, you're having it.
Right. That put this thing into it didn't go into force until they repealed Roe versus Wade, and then his own daughter had a situation to where the baby wasn't going to make it. It wasn't going to be, but it was still viable at that moment. And the doctor said, "There's nothing I can do. You either go home or you have to go home and deliver it on your own." They couldn't even give her the medication that this young woman took before, for hers. And it risks the mom getting being, fatally, not making it because of infection and things like that. And I mean, it got to the point where it was mom or unviable fetus, and they it was so hard for her to get the
House of the Dragon now. It's like
they could not. She could not get the medical attention she needed because of all the red tape. And he went, "I'm an idiot." He even said, "I should have never signed that. I never thought it would become a thing. I never thought Roe versus Wade would get turned over. But now that it has."
That's been their plan since the 70s. Like they've been trying to overturn that since the 70s. Like it's not a surprise. They just finally got it.
It's just, again, when that happened, I cried. I have 2 girls, and I want them to be able to get the medical attention that they deserve.
Of course.
And I mean,
and the one that they choose. More importantly,
one that they choose.
The ones that they choose, like not
they don't.
less options.
I don't get to choose for them. Nobody does. It's their own body, their own decision. That is not my place. And if they feel that this is the way it is, then so be it. I support you. I love you. But I don't want you to be a criminal because, if it's not the right time, it isn't, or if it's
what's the alternative? Go
to
they've ran away all the clinics, the people who are trained to help you from the state.
Well, it becomes fucking what's the movie? Dirty Dancing.
Right.
With a fucking coat hanger now.
Coat hangers.
Now we have to dirty coat hanger shit.
We got to go back. Well, I think it'd be a clean coat hanger.
The worst part is that a lot of the stuff that they, when they come out with this, the protest. I mean, I've seen it with my kids when we've gone to, Earth Day and stuff. We've gone to a lot of museums and stuff, and they're sitting out there with these signs. And my kids are like, when they were younger, now they know, they understand now. But when they were younger, they would be like, "What's that? Why is that?" And you got this. It's hard. It's a hard.
Yeah.
Well, and I can tell you, small town Nebraska, if you go even on the beaten path, but off the beaten path on highways and through small town Nebraska, every 5 or 6 miles, you have a billboard that says, save kids' lives, blah, blah, blah. Don't murder babies. And it's about abortion. And I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the Bible Belt in general,
well, and I'm not even Bible Belt typically, but small town.
I was in Miami. No, sorry.
No, Bible Belt's like down like Missouri.
But isn't it touched a piece of Florida, like the Panhandle?
Maybe the Panhandle. Alabama, Georgia. All that shit.
But yeah, I mean, close enough to feel it. Yeah,
it's just sad. I want my girls to be able to access good healthcare for them, and I don't want them to be told what to do with their own bodies.
Right, of course.
Exactly. I have 2 girls, and I want them to be able to make choices that they want. Now, but here's a question too, though. I have for you. where does the male's point of view come? Where what if you don't want it, but the male does?
There's never been a choice
But
for the male,
but
and
but
also the mom carries everything. She has the keys to the
well,
whole
yeah,
castle.
she's gotta carry for the whole 9 months, but what if that man, that man says, "Hey, I'm gonna accept responsibility. I want it. Go ahead and just give it to me." Is that fair?
Go ahead and just give it to me. What are the,
I mean, not,
Well,
if you don't
so
want it, I
if
will
I get
take care of the
pregnant
baby.
and I am pregnant with somebody and I'm like, it's not a good time. We're
You
just
don't
not
want
gonna
it,
do this.
but
like, yeah,
the guy
like,
wants it and
I
says, "You know what? I
also
do want
the father doesn't really have a
it's
choice.
for one, it is in my body. You know what I mean? What if I don't want to carry it? What if I don't want to change my lifestyle? What if I
I mean,
can't change my
we've
lifestyle? What if I'm
literally
addicted to the point where I cannot do, this baby's going to come out a crack baby? You know what I mean? There
guys, this is
are
like
those
an old
situations.
question. This
There
is
are
like
those
age-old question.
situations.
What if the dad wants it? Yeah.
But how often does that happen?
We don't know because they've never had a chance.
I mean,
we've never
They've
done
all
this.
had the chance.
I mean, there's men
Old
that
white
don't
men
want
put these laws into effect. It's okay for them to fucking impregnate everybody else. They can grape or whatever, and it's fine. You should keep that baby. But why should I have to? If you know what I
Well,
mean?
when it comes to a grape situation, that's different, right?
Why?
But because
Why is
it
it
wasn't something that it was planned. Like, what if
I
you
wasn't
were
playing.
married? What if you were married and maybe she doesn't want it, but he does. He's wanted a child, and it happened. Maybe at
You're talking about
that
a
moment.
great baby?
No, if you're
No,
married
if you're married
Oh, that's
and aren't trying,
trying,
age-old
but
question.
maybe all
I
of a
mean,
sudden
Like,
the
I think
then you
circumstances
have that
change.
conversation though,
I think
and go,
95% of kids come when it's not convenient, right?
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Definitely. I mean, I
very
have
few
4.
people are like, let's have another one. We can afford it. Like very few people. So like, I don't know. That it's hard. It goes down to your very core belief.
I think it's
very, very
rare that a
personal.
man. I'm not saying that there aren't good dads and there's not men who want to be fathers. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in an oops situation, I feel like it's rare that a guy's gonna be like, "Yep, give me that kid." I mean, you know what I mean.
Sure.
For also, if you do have that child, you have that agreement of, okay, I didn't want it. I was going to abort. You wanted it. I carried it to term. I'm off the hook, right? You know what I mean? Does the woman now have to give child support even though she didn't want to continue with the pregnancy?
Happens to us all the time.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing. But if she could have been like, I didn't have to have it. You know,
but usually the mother is gonna feel. Another thing that you guys have is the fact that you are connected to it, right? So since you make it, you have more claim to it. I know that we think that we're
hence the reason if a man wants it and I want to not have it, I want to get rid of it. And I don't mean to be like this. I have 2 kids, but I want to get it gone before I am attached to it, before I can feel it, before I even know. Right. I should have that option to be like, no, I'm not, you know what I mean? Because there is that more of a connection. I shouldn't be made to carry a child that, again,
regardless of how
regardless, especially because in that 9 months, there is a lot that happens.
Of course.
Being a mother of 2, Rose, you agree, or a mother of 4, you feel
Everything
a connection to that child, especially once you feel them moving. And, when you find out you're pregnant and nothing's going on, you're like, am I really? Is this for real? I don't even know. You know what I mean? Once you feel them grow and, you have this, not every woman. Sometimes you get the connection and then you have the baby and you're like, I don't know yet. And then you get it again. You know what I mean? There's all sorts of scenarios, but I should not be made to potentially completely bond to this kid if I didn't want it in the first place.
Okay. So Okay. So, but what you are saying also,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put words in your mouth. Tell me if this is right.
Okay.
But you are saying also that like you have the final decision to say and everything, so it doesn't matter who the father is, right? Like it doesn't, because what he wants is inconsequential, correct?
I mean, does he have a bond or anything like that
I guess
initially?
not. No, I guess
No,
not.
I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, what I'm saying
All
is,
the father, all he wants, all he has is a desire to be a father.
right. Well, I mean, if I feel like, again, my body, but
Right, of course, yeah.
it's
And I'm not
happening
fighting
here.
with you.
You know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
saying, like,
But
I
yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
let's put it out there. Like, let's really say, like, you know what? I make the decisions. If I don't
I'm
want it,
if
like,
if I
that's it.
have to do all the work to make it, except for one night of pleasure, then yeah, you know what I mean. That's
Wow.
kind
Yeah,
of
because
how I
that's
feel.
not only
I
that
get
is
to decide. You know what I mean?
it's not only 9 months, it's also 18 years of your life that you are
And no father does
responsible.
anything for 18 years.
And the father, if he's not in the picture and he
Well,
didn't want to be in the
That's not
picture,
what AC's saying though. AC's saying if dad or father wants to be in or wants to take the baby after you've birthed them, but he doesn't
You
have to
should,
push them
but
out of their tutor.
they usually go to like the mom's family. Like they get raised by abuela. You know what I mean? It's
Well, typically,
you
yeah,
know what I
but I
mean.
mean,
So it doesn't even go to the father. Like it never does. You know.
well, I mean, if dad says yes, I want it, and mom goes, well, I guess I'll have it, but you get it, and I want nothing else to do with it.
This is a very rare case. Very, very rare when the mom
but it
doesn't want
depends.
anything that does.
But it depends
Well,
too,
I
because
guess
not
that's
all
what.
grandparents are involved either.
Well, this is the reason we're having this conversation. Is Rose posed the question: what if the father wanted the baby?
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
So
You should have claim to him if he can prove that he can afford the baby. If he can, you're not going to give him a baby to
well, I don't
live
have
in a
to.
trash can.
No. Technically, I don't have to approve or prove that I can have a baby before I push it out. You know what I mean? They just give them to you when you birth them.
But they're not going to
the
give you a
father
baby to
should
put it in
be-
a worse state, right? They're not going to be like, okay, you're right, here, take this baby, and then where do you live, sir? Like that's why don't they have like CPS where they go to your house and make sure you can have a kid?
No one for as a woman.
Like in general,
if I get pregnant,
No.
if you live in
and I
squalor,
push-
they'll take your kids, right?
no.
No.
If I get pregnant and I have a baby, they go, here's your baby.
And you live, but then you live in squalor. Then you live in squalor.
They don't care. They're gonna send you to where whence you came with said baby until CPS is called by someone on the outside. If you're living in squalor and happy and nobody fucking cares if you're living in squalor,
right.
nobody's gonna say anything.
Right. You can hit your kid as long as he isn't telling you. Right. Exactly. Right.
That's
exactly
the whole
right.
thing.
You can be homeless.
I
There's
can
a lot
get
of homeless
pregnant.
women that have babies. There's a lot of homeless women that have babies that are sleeping out, and that are out.
They
in
don't
the
keep the
streets.
babies at the hospital. They just send them with the homeless mom.
Okay. And if you don't have a car seat, they will provide one for you to go home. Peace out. Have
So
fun. Like
again, in that situation, if the father goes, "I'm the dad," there shouldn't be any background check. And mom goes, "I don't want the baby. Here you go. You're the dad." It
I'll
should
put that
be
in my hat for Barbara to ask her, like, let's say CPS is involved, the courts are involved, the mom doesn't want it. Does it automatically go to the father? And does the father get like, he's like, what if the father's like 19 and doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, here you go. You know what I mean? I feel like it's got to be a little bit of.
I assume if dad's 19 or at any age, he could go, "I don't want it," and then it would go to the next of kin.
there was a case just recently on some content creators on TikTok. The mom was just out of control, right? And he wanted his kids, so he decided to leave her, but he had to go through the system to get his kids. It took him 6 months to get his baby from her, and he actually just won the case recently. But he wanted his child, so he had to fight for it. It's not like the women are always going to have the first rights, I feel.
No shit. She just explained why.
Yeah.
Yeah. You carry him, you do everything for him, you just except for one night.
I mean, up until their birth, if the father is there, then yeah, you're doing everything for them. You're making sure they're healthy. I'm going to not drink. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to.
You make all the sacrifice.
Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm not going to eat a medium rare steak because apparently that's bad. I'm not going to eat sushi because apparently that's bad. I shouldn't have caffeine. Might be why my kids are a little off. I had a lot of caffeine when I was pregnant. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't do all these things, and you do that because you're growing a life.
Right.
I mean,
it sounds like you resent the men for not doing it with you.
No, I don't. What I'm saying is somebody who doesn't have to do that should not tell me if I should keep it or not. That's all.
Okay.
In the respect of I have
abortion, in the abortion
girls.
talk. Right.
Yeah, in the abortion talk.
Sure.
I should
I don't
not
think men
told.
belong in women's politics anyway. Like, if this is a women's issue, they should be able to at least the abortion part.
Dave says that all the time. He goes, "I'm not a girl. Not a girl, but I'm not a woman. I don't know. This is not a thing."
I can sympathize and I can empathize. However, I don't know enough about the subject internally.
Right.
And honestly, just leave them to do what they need to do, and then you guys can, other politicians can do whatever the fuck else you do, scam Wall Street, whatever.
I mean,
it's like
these laws are made by old men who want to continue to do things. I mean, there are the statute of limitations laws. This whole story took us off on a rabbit hole. I apologize, but I want to hear your story though, AC. But I mean, there are so many laws that are geared towards old men that want to get away with being with far younger women than they should be.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And or graping or whatever it may be. And it's frustrating. It is so fucking frustrating. Again, as a mother of girls, Rose, I'm sure you understand. It's just, again, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, I cried and I called my girls and I said, I'm so sorry for you. I did not have to deal with this when I was your age because we had Roe v. Wade. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's the hardest thing ever because
we didn't have to deal with 3 wars, 2 economic crashes, a 9/11. Like we didn't like.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on that because I know with my daughter when she had her firstborn, she went through 37 hours of labor. I didn't have to go through that. Mine were, my girls were less than 5 minutes. My boys were 16 hours, but hers to go through 37. I
pushed with Alex for 5 hours.
I kept yelling at her stomach. I'm like, Lily, come out.
I know. I was yelling at my doctor, and it's rough. It is not something. It's rough.
And it's painful.
You forget, and then you have another one, and then you go, "Oh, this was awful. Why did I ever do this?"
It's like at the top of the roller coaster. You're like,
I did it 4 times.
Like roller coasters, right?
Exactly. Well, my first was easy. She was, I pushed for an hour, maybe, and she was there. Alex, nope. That kid didn't want to come out, and I was like,
Did
"Why?"
You think Alex was a boy?
I did.
Yeah.
But honestly, with her, I was like, I will never have another one, and I haven't. So
good for you.
Hard. It's hard. It's painful, and
it is.
And it's not something and nobody ever tells you the aftermath.
But it's the best thing in the world.
No, it's not. No, it's
it's not.
Aftermath,
Overrated.
You know what? You're leaking everywhere. You're walking out leaking like
everything is leaking.
Everything is coming.
Your boobs,
bottom,
everything is coming. That sounds fun.
No, it's not even fun because you can't do that for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. If you get an episiotomy, you're fucked.
Well, not even that.
Not even opposite of fun.
And then that's something though. Everybody goes, "Oh my god!" Da, da, da. And they, you see all these people posting these pictures. Oh,
I did it natural with, and it was my choice. No, fuck off.
I mean, I did mine naturally, but let me tell you, do I wish that I would have maybe changed it a little bit on my 2 boys? Absolutely, because maybe it would have been a lot easier. Would have been a lot faster. Maybe
take the drugs.
No, I had my mom. I had my mom in there. My mom goes, "Well, you weren't complaining when you were getting things done." I'm like, oh, "Shut up, Mom."
Was she commenting on conceiving him?
Yes.
You weren't fucking thinking about this shit when you were fucking, right?
Right. My mom was like, my mom was all up in there.
She's a cold ass lady, bro.
Well, at least it's better than my mom. My mom thought she was a doctor and she could go down and catch my girls. I was like, no, get away.
No, do not get away from my hoo-ha.
I'm like, yes. I'm like, I know you birthed that, and I understand that you claim a little ownership of my whole entire body because you pushed me out of yours.
I made you.
But back the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
my mom.
She's like, well, you got to sit there and take it. And I was like, but
just like you were taking, boom, boom, just like you were taking it in the bed. Remember?
You're like, I'm married. Fuck.
Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to make them? You like making them?
Plus, one, you might not want to have your mom with you. She's like my mom. Yeah, no, put her away to the
She's
side.
like my mom. No, actually, I love that my mom was there. However, with Alex, she was a little too hands-on. I was like, back the fuck up, Mom. I'm sorry I'm cussing at you, but I'm in pain.
So my sister-in-law.
I would have said that to my mom. She would have smacked the shit out of me. She would have been like, really?
We had freshly gotten to Vegas like 7 years ago, and my little nephew, Cash Adrian, which is his middle name, right?
Oh.
Right around the time that I came, he gave my middle name. My
That's
name,
awesome.
his middle name, right? So it was great. But his name's Cash. He's a super cool kid. But I remember his birth implicitly because I was like a door away. Like the door would open, and if I looked like that, I would see her like on all fours, like, like she was screaming, like they were slicing her in half. It was one of the most blood curdling, like mind twisting, sounds you can actually hear from a person. Like it's so
not fun,
blood curdling. It was like. Like it's like everything's coming out of me at once, like there's snot and boogers and blood and piss. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't
but
see
nobody
it.
tells you about that.
No, not really. They're like, oh, it's amazing once you have it. Yeah, once I get
they
it
should
out.
tell you during fucking sex ed, like 7th grade. It's like, and then if you get pregnant, remember this is what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's its own deterrent.
Yeah, and they don't even tell you the worst part is afterwards when you're just like. You've gone through everything. Not only are you everything is your whole body's changed. They don't even tell you like, okay, now you have to get up at the middle of the night because
because what
your baby's crying. You got to feed. You got to do this, but at the same time, everything is leaking. Everything is going all different places. Yeah, you still got
everything swelled to the point where you thought it was never going back.
Yeah,
dude, were you guys like this big?
Worse probably.
Yeah, and they're rock hard. They hurt.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting when my milk came in with my first daughter. I was just talking with family and I walked into another room and I went and it was like somebody punched me in the chest.
Really? Was that like I was gonna ask you, like I've never asked this to a woman, like is it one day to the next where it just like swells, or is it over a couple of days? Or
it depends.
Minutes.
Yeah, it depends on. For me, with this, like, actually, I think I started a day before.
My girls, I had them, and then they started with a colostrum, which comes first, and then within a day of having them, my milk came in. But literally, it's literally like somebody opens the floodgates, and you're like, oh.
So you feel like somebody punches you in the chest, and you're just like,
yeah. And then they were like 3 times bigger than they were.
Right.
and then
I would imagine
and they
when you don't want to breastfeed and you're like, okay, I want to stop. And then you get sick. You get, what is it? Molasses?
Molasses?
What is it called?
Molasses? Malaria?
No, you get, what is it called?
Where
you can get clogs. So you can get a clogged and you can't do
clogged
it either.
what?
You can't pump. A clog.
Like a clog, like titty pour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then you get sick. You get a fever.
Oh.
You're like, you have this. Oh, it is the worst. You have to sit there and especially.
But breast milk is very sweet.
But you know what? But they don't even talk about either. What if the baby doesn't latch on? Then now you have another problem because he ain't latching. You got
baby gonna starve.
It's a mess. It is.
This is what there is to eat. We made lasagna tonight. You better hit the titty. Like that's what it is. That's what there is.
But I mean, breastfeeding does, burn a ton of calories. It does.
I was not breastfed.
Get back into shape.
I did it only for 2 weeks for all my kids, and then I said I'm done.
I did it for with Sabrina, her first 6 weeks, because that's when I went back to work, and I mean it was like 2000. Pumping wasn't a thing at JCPenney at the time. I didn't. They weren't making accommodations for women to do that. And
what are you, pregnant again, Toots?
And then Alex, I think it was 3 months that I breastfed her. So
only Haley, but I pumped with her, but that was because I knew at the end my husband said, "Well, if you do it with her, since it's our last kid, I'm gonna give you a bag," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it for a whole year."
No, honestly, I loved it once everything was working fine, but because it is another bonding moment you have with your child. Don't you agree?
No,
that's why my mom and I fight.
I breast pumped all my with.
I actually breastfed both my girls.
No,
no. They said my mom they pumped her too full of drugs. That's what she said. Like they did. 79,
that happens. Yeah.
And they were like,
back when we were born. Yeah.
You shouldn't breastfeed this child. Like, you're just going to pump him full of, like, whatever the fuck we just get, epidural. Or,
Well, not even the epidural. That's safe for him. I mean, they even give you some sort of narcotics when you're in labor. But back in the day, they used to knock women out and push the baby out for them.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
put this wallet in your mouth.
Well, no, literally. I remember my Nana even saying they gave her something and she went to sleep and then she woke up and there was the baby. And it wasn't a C-section. They pushed
it out for
you. Ew, dude. Why?
You would be dead asleep.
That's what happened back in the day. I don't think you understand. What they would do to women back in the day was pump them up so full up of drugs, not an epidural. They didn't know how to numb you from down there, but they would knock them out. Something with a K. It was probably ketamine. I don't know. And then they would.
You're blowing my mind.
They would push the baby out. Yeah.
Like they would make yes, you're a roller. They would roll like
you're making donuts.
Yeah.
They would push the baby out. Yeah. And then women would wake up and all of a sudden, I have this baby now.
That seems not as archaic as like I brought it up a couple times. Like the Knickerbocker, the show with Clive Owen. He's like, it's like 1900 and it's New York City and it's like the cutting edge of medicine, but they still they like to C-section a baby. It's like from like
stem to stern,
and they like open you up. So like, and then like people are losing blood, and like the machine that pumps the blood out is like a foot pump, and it was like disgusting. People died left and right, like for nothing,
right?
Just because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Well, I mean, again, that's not a viable thing if the baby's breached or whatever. I mean, you would have to do or try to turn the baby.
Right. I was born. Did I tell you?
I wish they would tell
with the
umbilical cord and like this and like across my face. So I was born like with a huge like scar like this because I just like grew that way, and I was a cone head. I was the ugliest kid.
Alex, she was sideways up until she was 37 weeks, and then she flipped, but not all the way. So her cone was on the side of her head.
Oh God!
Because her head was cocked. She was sunny side up, so her nose was up instead of down, and she had her hand. That's what they call it. And then she had her hand on her face, so she was not all the way. She was not all the way the way she was supposed to be. She had her hand like this, and she was the wrong way. I pushed for 5 hours, literally 5 hours.
You pushed a sideways kid out. You try to do this?
Somehow she made it out. Yeah, I begged my doctor to use the vacuum or the forceps to get this baby out. They have a vacuum. It's a suction cup that goes on the baby's head, and it helps deliver.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Did you never watch that?
So the babies. I've seen many babies come out of cooters a lot.
Yeah, no, they have a vacuum that it's safer than forceps because forceps can sometimes be too hard. So it just sucks them out like that.
That sounds not dangerous.
I begged my doctor for that with Alex.
Can you suck the baby out?
He goes, "You've got this. You can do it." I'm like, "I don't think I can."
I've been
pushing for 5 hours. I cannot do this anymore.
Doctor?
And then I puked, and then she came.
I puked.
I did.
And then I had my beautiful daughter.
With my oldest, I didn't have issues with my oldest at all.
I didn't either.
Like I walked into the hospital and literally less than 5 minutes, she was out. Done.
Yeah, I mean, my oldest was easy.
But my son, Anthony was 17, George was 16. 17 hours of just sitting there pushing. And I was like, fuck. And then you have my mom going in my ear, and I'm like, okay.
Shut the fuck
Why
up,
did you
Mom.
quit? Why did you even have sex? Why did you even have sex?
Yeah.
You're like, you wanted these grandbabies.
You wanted
with
this.
Anthony,
yeah, but,
the worst thing with Anthony was because with him in the ultrasound, it showed so they were going to go ahead and do an emergency operation because his lungs hadn't developed. So in the ultrasound, it shows that the lungs were outside of his stomach, right?
No. Oh God.
So we had everything ready for them to go into surgery for Children's Hospital. When he was born, nothing. I swear, and I shit you not. Perfect.
How did they explain the anomaly of the ultrasound? Was the ultrasound
they couldn't
person?
They were trying to put pictures together. They were trying to figure doctors or specialists. They were like, "What the hell? Like, where do we go wrong?"
Yeah, really.
Did we miss up? Are these someone else's ultrasound? Like they couldn't figure it out. Yeah. They were trying. So they're like, "Well, your baby's good. You're good now."
So any mistake that we made is consequential now. Like take them.
Yeah, you're good.
Right?
You're
good. This is your baby.
No, but it still happened. You had you fucked up. It's malpractice. No.
Yeah, they're like, no, your baby's good.
But what if I would have aborted him because you thought he was like a Down syndrome baby? You made a mistake.
Right.
Oh, you know what? That is the worst. If you ever had that done, is the worst when they tell you, you know what? Because they do blood work, right? Yeah. And then when when they bring that out, they go, okay, maybe there's some stuff. So I had an amnio. They went into my belly, an amniocentesis done. They went in the belly, took out some of the fluid. Mm-hmm. The worst part is when you sit there and they tell you before you go into the procedure, if your baby comes out with Down syndrome, do you want to have an abortion?
Yeah.
They sit there and they tell you all this stuff, and you're just like, I was a mess. I was a complete mess because
you didn't realize that these things happened.
I've never, with my first daughter didn't have, and this was 12 years later. My daughter was, we're talking about 12 years of a difference when I had my son. So to have those questions asked, and I didn't have that asked when I was with,
you didn't have an amnio with Selena?
No, because my blood work came out good. It's the second one that didn't come out good. And I'm going,
that was 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So 25 years ago. Yeah.
Well,
it was easier to go, you're good. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're good.
But with Anthony, when they said, I think it was Anthony when they said, you know what, he's got, some of the chromosomes didn't come out right on your blood work. We're going to do the amniocentesis. And I was like, okay, but when you sit there before, you have all these questions asked. And then after you get that done, they tell you, you have to sit in bed for 24 hours because you could lose the baby. They could hit, the needle as they go in, they could hit the head. Like it's so many things that you're just so overwhelmed that you're just like,
it's a huge part of why I didn't have kids. I'm afraid that I've done so many drugs and so many different things to my body. I would not want to make another one of me. That's for sure. So that's a huge deterrent. But what if I try that one time and she is less than, we have to make a hard decision, or our life is just hindered, and they call me selfish. It's fine. You can call me selfish. My life is hindered because there's a very special needs person that I'm not prepared or equipped to handle, and maybe I didn't want the kid and I'm doing it, just to do it for my wife or whatever. And then you're like, fuck, this is wow. You get dealt a raw deal. There's plenty of people like that, just like the people who have sex on their first date and they get pregnant. You're like, fuck, I get to fuck her one time.
Right.
Jesus.
So AC, what is your story that you have?
Oh, there's time for me?
Yes, we do have time for you. Of course.
Oh, wonderful. Of course. Of course we do. Well, we have, let's see, what's going to be the best impact here? There we go. Bam. We're going to share the screen, and then we're going to go to true crime. If you guys haven't been to this front page of the true crime news, I would do that. What interests me is, I'm not going to do it right now, but there's this one kind of looked interesting. Millionaire husband allegedly tries to poison his wife with fentanyl before hiring hitmen to kill her. So it's like a redundant, like let me poison this chick while the hitmen come. Somebody, something's gonna work. But yeah, I'm gonna look into that for next week. But for this week, let's get rid of that. So this one looked you know how much I love meth heads and people who are strung out.
Absolutely.
Iowa parents, Iowa is already like Slipknot country. You know what I mean? What happens in Iowa? Iowa parents accused of keeping disabled child in a cage. Yeah. So every week if I get to do a story, I'm just aiming it to be like the most offensive. Like I'm gonna find the worst one possible to get the best reaction out of you guys, because I was disgusted. I was like, what? So
okay.
Oh yeah.
Before I start throwing that bombs.
Where the hell is Sam?
Stepped out for a second, but what?
Stepped out for a second. So look at these winners. Look at these winners. Hamburg, Iowa. Hamburg, by the way. Hamburger, Iowa. A couple faces.
I actually know where that is. It's not far from Omaha.
Is that right? Oh,
really?
All right. Well, southeast. Sorry.
No, it's southeast from Omaha, and I dated a guy who was born there. So
of Omaha.
He was a winner.
Is it this guy?
No, thank God.
Think about the woman or the girl you met the night before.
Okay, sorry about that.
Here I am. So was he cute?
The guy I dated, yes.
On the road again. Here I am.
I love that song.
Look at these fucking people.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Double nose ring.
Piss you off, Sam. This is gonna piss you off. I'm already feeling it.
Did you get the headlight? The headlight.
I didn't.
You got me saying headlight. Headline. Rose.
Words are hard.
Yeah. Hey, you want to see a headlight? Iowa parents accused of keeping disabled child in a cage.
Yeah, this is making me mad already.
Yes. So Hamburg, Iowa, a newly found out place where cute guys live. A couple of faces charges after the young child with developmental disabilities was found covered in waste by a roadside last week.
What the fuck?
It was a hard sentence to read. According to the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, on the morning of July 25th, deputies responded to a report of a young child wandering alone. Authorities found the 4-year-old covered in filth and a mixture of both human and animal feces outside a home. Inside the residence, the silence tells me everything I need to know with you guys. Inside the residence, officials located another juvenile, and both children were transported to the local hospital for evaluation. Further investigation revealed that the child's parents, Dustin Perry and Lindsay Hamilton, both 26 years old, allegedly had their family members care for their kids. With the direction to keep the 4-year-old in a makeshift cage.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay. So, but then you ask yourself, like, wait a minute. Let me peel the onion for a second. Don't we already put them kind of like a pack and place, kind of like a cage, right?
Right. I mean, it
right?
virtually is.
Is a roof is what makes it a cage, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like
so.
Zip ties.
Yeah, I wanted to boil. This is my main mission. Here we go. And so, according to the sheriff's office, the cage was made out of a pack and play, a baby gate. Baby gate roof, zip ties. Okay, so zip ties on top of a pack and play.
So you cannot get out. There's no
a roof.
Right. Fuck.
A roof, but with twisty ties. So, I mean, safe for the winter. And the child allegedly escaped the contraption while everyone in the home was sleeping. Yeah, good for him. Fuck yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Kids woke. Get the fuck. Let's go, man. I'm in trouble. Let me get out of here. Deputies located the second homemade cage because they had a backup, and they believe that the child was kept in a walk-in closet.
Jesus fuck.
Perry and Hamilton, both of these scumbags, each face charges of neglect and abandonment of a dependent person or a child, endangerment. Officials arrested the parents and booked them into the Fremont County Jail without bond. Further charges are pending.
Good.
So that's one of those. But we'll keep an eye on, I guess. I don't even think I want to. Like, I just want them to fry. Like,
yeah.
You know what?
Come on, man.
You know what? When people like this, I always want to send them to a fucking island and just, you know what?
I want to put them in a cage.
Oh, hold on. What island? There's some of those
Which
islands.
island?
You know what? I just want an island where all these bad people can go and, you know what?
I mean, that's Australia, right?
That's pretty much Australia. Damn, it's a low
That's
fucking
how
blow.
Australia was made.
It's a history burn.
By the criminal. Sorry.
History
Is that
burn.
too cerebral?
Penal colony. Yeah.
That's what happens,
True.
and then it becomes Australia.
Did you ever see? You know what? I often think about Rose. Have you ever seen a movie called The Running Man?
No, I don't think so.
It's with Richard Dawson from Family Feud. Remember? But the old guy from Family Feud from the 80s, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think that what you want is that, because if you watch that, ask Mr. Rose if he knows that movie. I'm sure he does, and he's going to tell you that it's a game show for convicts, and they send you to this place, and it's pretty much your death penalty, right? They imagine everybody on death row just goes to play a game, but like the games are like, metal dune buggies and like shooting each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like to the death.
No,
game.
I want it to be, kind of like
And you do it for pay-per-view, and you pay for it, and you watch it.
No, you know that one movie where they sit there, where they off each other off.
Oh
like,
man,
where they say, you know what? That's what I want. All these criminals go to a criminal, like an island where all the criminals.
But they would like that. What if you send them all there and then they figure out how to have fun and they all work together? Wouldn't you be mad? And they're like all like laying out like.
You know what? And guess what? Then I'd be standing on the side, and you know what?
Like, no fun, fuckers.
We're gonna off them all.
Again,
remorse. It's remorse.
It's going to turn out like Australia, where it becomes its own ass fucking country.
You're a sadist. You're a sadist. That's what it's called, being a sadist. No, I'll make sure they're in hell.
I honestly think they should be put in a cage, which would be jail. You know what I mean? Let them feel how it is.
Another
but they might like it.
Las Vegas woman pleads guilty after children were locked in a dog cage. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
We're having a dog cage enter. Yeah, sorry. I know this is against the rules, guys, but
no, you're good.
You're good.
There's no rules in Fight Club.
There's no right.
The only rule in Fight Club is if you haven't fought yet.
There's no rules in true crime.
Yeah.
If you haven't had true crime yet, you got to get crime.
Right.
So wow. Okay, my hometown.
And this is December of last year, so
fairly recently. So we went down. Yeah. But I just want to read the quick thing. So a woman pled guilty to abuse-related charges last week, meaning in December, after 2 children were found outside a dog crate and other kids abused. The TV station locally here, the plea was so Amanda Stamper. The plea was for 3 counts of child abuse, neglect, and endangerment, kind of like the last one we talked about. Mm-hmm. And then Stamper's husband, Travis Doss, will head to trial for 40 charges, including 38 counts of CA, right, child endangerment, and is also being charged with trafficking. And right, and living from the earnings of a prostitute.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack.
However, I would say immediately, I don't know how it works here. Prostitutes here are legal, not in Las Vegas, but like just like you can't do it in
right.
There's no
not
prostitution
on the
there,
but
everybody's giving you cards so you can visit the bunny ranches and shit. So
right, exactly.
No. Stamper and Doss do have a child together, but he has 6 other children. Hot tea is served. Doss reportedly did not abuse these 2-year-old. She said that Doss beat the children with extension cords, skillets, other objects.
Jesus.
Las Vegas Metro Police says that Stamper's apartment on South Valley View Boulevard, which is so South Valley View is a really important street, for a welfare check, and then they knocked on the door, and no one answered. The building's manager led the officers inside the apartment, and they found the 2 children inside the dog crate that had been shut with a padlock. A maintenance worker brought bolt cutters to cut the fucking lock off and save these children. Okay, this is like a harrowing like savior event, right? These people are like, bring the bolt cutters. We got to save these children in a cage. What the fuck is going on? And okay, so one of the victims got out, but the other one could not walk on his own. The second child, who the police said looked emaciated, his eyes were swollen shut from bruises.
Wow.
The child repeatedly told police Doss locked him in the crate because he stole food at night. Medics transported the child to the hospital for treatment. Medics transferred the children to the fucking hospital for treatment, and he also had swollen kidneys. He was extremely malnourished. He required surgery for his kidneys. The doctor said the child would have died if he wouldn't have been taken to the hospital. Like,
you know what? This is people should not have children. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
these are the people that should not have fucking kids. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
6
you
of them.
shouldn't.
Yeah, 6 of them alone.
This is the shit that, you know what? Where's the fucking doctor when she's delivering saying, "Oh, where you're," you know what I mean? Like,
Where's CPS there?
Wow.
Where's CPS there?
oh,
Did you read that quote?
No, I was about
Casey,
to.
right where your cursor is.
This?
No, down. Yeah.
does
Down.
reportedly believe that one?
Yes,
This
that
one?
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, Stamper told police
No,
Doss.
Up one. Does reportedly
Police-
believe one of the children?
Doss reportedly believed one of the
Oh.
children in the crate was dead because he kicked him in the head too hard.
Oh my God! Oh, this one. Oh God! Oh God!
Yeah.
I freed all of them at this point, right? So like, he thought he did that. The doctor said he hadn't seen this kind of child's abuse severity beaten since his military tour in Afghanistan, where he observed children who had been dipped in hot oil.
Wow.
I don't think we're ready for this one today. Like, we weren't ready to end this one.
Yeah. Holy buckets.
Fucking buckets, right? So then the police noted in their report that a skillet had been used to hit the children. He has dents in it from the children's head from the skillet. Then additionally, probably the most salacious, is Stamper told police that Doss is her pimp and he makes her prostitute for money. So I think it's only legal when the state can do it.
Okay,
like
the last sentence, she's pregnant and faces several years in prison.
Yeah.
So not only has she had her own child put into a cage and abused, all these other children,
Correct.
and now she's pregnant, and this baby has to go to somebody. You know what I mean?
He looks like a stand-up dude, and this chick looks like a fucking. So that's a prostitute.
Yeah.
This is not the prostitute I'm thinking about when I'm like, I don't know, a kid from Massachusetts, like, let's go to Vegas this weekend, like, let's go get that prostitute.
That more, there are high end and whatever, but that's more than likely what you're going.
That's a rough. That's a rough. It's like that.
That's more than likely what you can afford.
Yeah. People on Spotify, people on Amazon, wherever you're listening audibly, you should definitely make your way over to YouTube or one of our video sites so you can actually lay your lustful eyes on this beautiful dame.
Yeah,
you're gonna love her. Yeah,
check it out.
But yeah, dog crates and everything. So like, again, a woman pleaded guilty to abuse-related charges regarding keeping kids in a crate.
Wow.
And it's 120 degrees out here right now. So on top of that, this was in December, so it was kind of cold. They're fine.
Yeah, it wasn't. All that.
Come on, that's so fucked up.
All right.
But anyway, we're done.
Not a shot for that, but because it sucks so bad, maybe a shot to make it better.
Yeah.
For the end of the show.
Shot it, maybe like a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have so many Jimmy John subs to eat.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Do you have Jimmy John's up in your neck of the woods?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one real close to our house.
Man, it's here.
I know we have
15 minutes.
We have about 10 minutes to the end of this hour and a half show, or 7 minutes. There is something I want to touch about because I know it's been all over the headlines recently. This is about an elderly woman from Iowa. A deputy actually shot her.
Just like these people.
Or Illinois. Sorry, Illinois. I apologize. He shot this woman with no cause.
I mean, I'm sorry. This is a famous case. Like everybody, like it's this is huge.
Very much in the news.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like this is
I
like
wanted to share this before we take off on this story because this is I feel for the family. I've seen a couple videos of the family, especially the sheriff who shot her. He was transferred from multiple different stations.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and play. This is a clip now. Fair warning for anybody who for a lot of things. It's just a fair warning. There's a couple things, but this is about a 3-minute long video. I want to show you guys of what happened here, and let me know your opinions at the end. Okay.
What is the name of this person?
Deputy.
The name of the woman that got.
Oh, I did not get the name. I apologize.
Deputy Ron, Illinois. She's all over the news. I'm blanking right now.
Yes. And you know what? I didn't get her name.
For people who are not watching, that's Sonya Massey, right?
Yes.
Right.
That's
so
it.
Sonya Massey. So just let's give it a little backstory so people don't know what the hell they're about to watch or listen to. So she was 36 years old, right? And she called 911 to report a potential intruder in her home on July 6th, 2024, just this month. She was fatally shot in her home by Sangamon County Sheriff Deputy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So this is about a 3-minute video. Here we go.
ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right there, maybe.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit here.
Drop the fucking top! The fucking top!
Maybe I fast forward a little bit too much.
Wait for your hot steaming water.
Are we going to be okay actually showing the end of that? I don't think you can show that.
You better fucking not.
You know what I mean?
I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face. Drop the fucking top! The fucking top!
Like right there. No stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we all know what happens afterwards.
Yeah. She's getting a teapot of hot water.
Mm-hmm.
She's an elderly woman.
No, she's 36, actually.
36.
So elderly,
elderly,
yeah, I'm fucking
elderly.
I'm ancient. Then.
Not.
Fuck.
I mean, she's just an elderly woman.
No.
Not elderly, but I'm saying older. I guess I should say an older woman. She there was a call called and there was an intruder. They went and investigated. She wasn't doing nothing. Her teapot was going off because of hot water. She was making herself a cup of tea. And this police officer decided to just take it upon it. I don't even know where I want to go with this because he shoots her point blank in the head, and it makes me furious because she wasn't she didn't have anything on her.
Well,
she
we don't
didn't
know
have, but they didn't want to show because the family, the father, the mother wanted to make sure that they actually showed the video clips of this to come out. They didn't want the police officer did not want the
body cam was off.
The body cam.
Body cam was off.
Come out.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. And
what didn't she say? I pray for you or something like that.
But at the end, she's like, I'll pray for you. And he goes, no, you fucking. He really lost it when she said something about Jesus Christ and praying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when he's like, fuck you. Like you went really bullish. Like you are not gonna pray for me, which is a weird response. Even for me as an atheist, being like, fuck you, fuck her God. Like
if somebody is wishing will on you, like I'm going to pray for you, you should be like, thanks. Even though I don't
there's a lot of condescension there too. Sometimes,
but you could be like, I'm going to pray. Yeah, well, you could be passive aggressive with it. Like,
absolutely.
When people are shitty to me on the phone,
but you're a cop.
I'm always like, have a better day. Yeah. But that's me being very passive aggressive. But I don't know if she really meant for it.
No, you don't know. You don't know.
Or she could have. But regardless, it wasn't a threat. You know what I mean?
She didn't even look threatening. She didn't even, she was sitting on her couch. She got up because her teapot was going off. Even he said, hey, your teapot's going off. She's like, oh, let me go turn it off. Like she didn't even look threatening.
Right. I know.
Like what
sometimes
the fuck?
non-threatening people shoot you too.
Well,
trust me, I'm on that side, your side. But from the cops' perspective, because there always is, right? You did it for a reason.
I don't also think there's those cops who are much like civilians who have a concealed carry are those people who are I wish you would. Now,
like the guy with the airsoft, right?
Yeah, that's not me saying everyone is, but I think this situation seemed to escalate further than it should have.
Really hardcore. Like, why the fuck did it get
faster?
So
like,
violent?
I don't understand because again, she was. But I think there's those people in life that are I wish you should, and one little thing could trigger that. And I'm not giving them an excuse. There's none.
I have
no
this
excuse.
Just in case, and I wish you would, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No.
And from my understanding, from the last time I heard from this story is that he didn't want to step down from being sheriff. So I think they have him on leave, but he
Paid,
hasn't
probably.
stepped down.
Let's check it out.
Probably.
This is from a
Probably
day
paid
ago, I
leave.
believe.
Wait, scroll down.
This is from a day ago. So
okay, a day ago.
I believe so.
Sorry, a day ago.
Was it?
No, I
Let me
was
see.
joking.
One second. I'm sorry. Yeah, 10 hours ago. This is from today.
I wasn't questioning a day ago.
I was.
Day ago
Yeah.
is a
term
for an Italian.
Oh.
I'm a Dago. You're a WAP. Never mind.
Oh yeah, white Protestant, right? The WAP is WASP is
WAP. I'm a Dago. You're a WAP. I have spaghetti slop. Yeah. So whatever it is,
gotcha.
but
Yeah,
that's
you're blue. I'm red.
Right.
We're there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
In the mesh of the pot. We're there.
So it said,
the body can. Go for it.
Oh, seeing the drawn weapon, Mrs. Massey put her hands in the air. I'm sorry, while ducking for cover behind the counter that separated them, according to the court documents. Sorry,
So
I saw that and I was like, geez, that's
I'll definitely highlight that because it's true. Like, it's a sad thing. So Grayson drew his gun, threatening to shoot Massey in the face. Documents say, right? Because that's what we saw in the video.
right.
Grayson proceeded to close the distance between him and Massey. He fired the gun 3 times, shooting Massey in the face once, according to the court documents. I'll shoot you in the fucking face, and he did it. I mean, he fucking did it. So Grayson's body cam was not turned on until after he shot Massey, of course. But the other deputy had theirs on during the interaction.
Good for them, at least.
The other deputy rendered aid until medical help arrived. So he was like, "What the fuck? Why did you do this?"
Right.
Grayson at no time made an attempt to render aid to Massey. So he was like, fuck, I don't give a fuck if she fucking bleeds to death. The body camera footage was released on July 22nd and revealed how the incident escalated by Grayson. To view the video here, I guess we can, you can do that. And then a full timeline is at the State Journal Register. What happened to this guy? So Rose, this is the guy we're talking about. So the deputy responsible for the shooting, Sean Grayson, 30 years old, he was terminated from his job and arrested on July 17th. He faces 5 counts of aggravated battery, official misconduct, 3 counts of first-degree murder. Why 3?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Let's see why.
I think there's more in his past that are starting to come up. I think.
Well, you have to try everything even if he has 5 different cases, those are each case.
Why 3 counts of first-degree murder?
Let's see if it says anything. So, misconduct and 3 counts of so due to Grayson's disregard for human life and access to firearms, the state attorney John Milheiser moved to deny the pre-trial release, which was granted on Thursday. Grayson was placed in custody and the Sangamon County Sheriff awaiting trial. He appeared at Sangamon County Court the following day on July 18th, where he was pleaded not guilty on all counts. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell issued a statement following the release. So he wasn't the actual sheriff. He was just a deputy.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Sonya Massey lost her life due to an unjustifiable and reckless decision by former deputy Sean Grayson. Grayson had other options available and that he should have used. His actions were inexcusable and do not reflect the values of the training in our office. He will now face judgment by the criminal justice system and will never again work in law enforcement. So at least they're making it up that way.
Let me tell you, to hear her father and her to speak out, and the son to speak out, it's so heartbreaking.
Well, it's sad.
It's so sad, and to see this video, this woman didn't even look like, you know what I mean? She was fucking turning off her tea kettle, like the fuck, you know.
Well, there's injustice all on both sides of the fence, right?
Yeah.
And there's injustice on people who need need it, and meaning the layperson of injustice against cops, and there's vice versa, injustice against people who are actually committing crimes,
right? And then if you see
not having enough evidence to prosecute and all that, so there's.
And then if you see like a highly militarized like an overfunded police department where they have tanks and machine guns and like these ridiculous things like body armor, like the fucking Cobra Commander, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, wait a minute, you guys are just like local town police. That's what defund the police means. That's what defund the police is for.
Absolutely,
not to take away all cops. It's to take away the fucking futuristic, militaristic. These
We
people
don't
living.
need-
They're living in a fantasy. They're
We
living
don't
in
need
like
Judge
a
Dredd here.
they're living in
Yeah.
a war fantasy, right? They're living in
Yeah.
and we have to go along with it. So, you know, so this is to what you were saying, sweetheart. This ended up here. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell. So you're right. They did call for Jack Campbell, the sheriff, to step down, but he was like, "I didn't do that, right?" So I don't see why. So so Jack Campbell said Monday he would not step down after community members called for his resignation, contending that it would not solve anything if he did. So we failed Sonya in the community. Campbell told packed hall about 300 people at the Union Baptist Church. I asked for your forgiveness. So the guy asked the actual sheriff asked for forgiveness. Well, he didn't do it though.
He didn't do it.
Oh, I'm saying the other guy. Sorry.
Yeah. So right, but by proxy, fuck Jack Campbell.
So I'm saying the other guy, like.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Sean Grayson is who you have to lay that blame on. Sean Grayson.
I mean, it's sad that
really
happened.
sad.
It really is.
So
it really is. That's it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight on another episode. I know we went on a couple deep dives, different roads, rabbit holes, but this
talked about your pregnancies,
right? On Monday night. This is what we
AC,
do.
you didn't understand that's what you're going to get tonight.
Yeah, I was basically told that the dad don't matter. I carry the fucking kid. I can decide what to do.
But thank you everybody for joining us tonight, and please hit that subscribe button. We have about 95 people who watch our shows but don't 95% that watch your shows that don't hit that subscribe. It is free. It costs, what does it, Sam? It costs how much?
Nothing. Zero. Nada.
We're on the road to 500. We're on the road to 500, then 1,000, and then we get the plaque at 1 million.
Yes.
We are so close. So please, guys, help us out. Let us hit our goal right now. Our goal right now is to hit 500. Please help out.
439.
439.
No, we did we get some more overnight? We got some more.
I think we're at 439.
Welcome, new folks.
439, folks. I don't know if you
439, y'all. This was from 0.
Help us out. Hit our goal. We would really appreciate it. And Sam, I know you have a show coming up here the next 2 days. What is that show?
We have How's Your Day? I am Dave decided he's going to continue to do this with me for a little bit. It's a kind of a variety show, a cross between a morning radio show. That's your
it's a morning radio variety show at night.
Yeah, kind of a cross between a morning variety show, late night talk show, and then we do some shit in between. Dave usually does a top 10. I do news stories, and then we have a cast of characters who comes in and leaves messages. However, we would love for you to also leave messages. It's pretty easy. It's the Married Couple Podcast on Instagram with underscores in between. You can just leave a live voice message for us to, react to as well.
They said that if people don't come and do that, he's going to hurt himself, right?
Well, he really would like a variety of people to leave those voice messages rather than the same people all the time.
I'm going to solve that.
The guy from Deadpool might come out.
I'm going to solve that. I got it.
Okay. But yeah, it's a great show. It's really fun. We do it Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know everywhere else in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you on Friday nights live with a new show, and every Monday night will be pre-recorded. We love you all. And thank you so much.
This week we're doing so by the time they see this, they're going to see
Quiet on the Set. Yeah.
Quiet on the Set, right? So this week on Friday, our live stream is about Quiet on the Set, the Nickelodeon Dan Snyder.
No, they've already seen it.
How was that? How was the Dan Snyder thing that we did? Did you love it? I think
it's going to be great.
Great. I hope you loved it. I mean, the feedback was awesome. It was fun making it.
So
it was really fun.
Please. And if you have any questions when we come on, let us know what your questions are. We'd love to have you on, and we will let you know what the cocktail is on that night.
Ooh, I feel like this next one's gonna be fun.
I want to get drunk. Oh, well, we can do slime, like Nickelodeon slime.
Right.
Yes. And remember, Monday nights is kind of like dealer's choice. Monday nights you get to pick whatever you want. I actually picked wine tonight. Sam, she picked a lot of Scotch on the rocks.
I did a couple of shots while we were on the show.
Yeah,
I
but
also
tell them.
did some gummy. I did a gummy. I
And
did the giggle
AC?
one, and I didn't fumble. Okay, I fumbled over words, but
Yeah.
not as bad as last week. So
You know what you should try?
Huh.
Cocaine. Cocaine.
Done that. Been there, done that.
You know what? With that note, I love you all. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you all on Friday nights. Bye.